Thank you. Thank you, Travis. How many of you work with difficult people? Show of hands. How many of you live with difficult people? Show of hands. And how many of you are difficult people? Show of hands. Okay, at least we have a few honest people in the room. One of the things I like to say, at one time or another, we are all someone's difficult person. And the definition that I like to use of a difficult person is it's someone who impedes action for whatever reason. Their own personal issues or something about you, but for whatever reason, they are not able to move the conversation forward. So today, what I want to talk to you about is how do you intervene, not only outside in the conversation with them, but also how do you intervene in your own being in such a way that you can shift the dynamic of something that's happening with a difficult person. So I heard a story the other day about a little boy who was pulling a wagon, and one of the wheels came off the wagon. And he happened to be rolling the wagon in front of a church, and one of the wheels came off. And he says, he's only 5 years old, and one of the wheels comes off, and he says, "Damn." And it just happens to be a preacher standing up on the church steps who looked down at him. And he runs down and he says, "Son, when things go wrong, we say, 'Praise the Lord.'" And he says, "Okay." So he puts the wheel back on and he pushes it a little further and then a couple more steps. All four wheels fall off. And he looks down at the thing, at the wagon, and he looks up at the preacher who's standing there staring at him. And he says, "Praise the Lord." And all of a sudden, all four wheels come up off the ground and connect themselves back to the wagon. And then he looks up at the preacher, and the preacher goes, "Damn." So that is an example of an intervention. Maybe a divine intervention. Maybe you'll have a divine intervention. But it's an example of doing something and getting some other kind of result. So today, what I want to share with you is a couple things. Number one, to become aware of the elements that make you competitive in the postdoc world. Something that makes you rise above other people, to say, this is somebody I want to hire. Second thing is to create some internal and external strategies for dealing with difficulties. And these two are related, because what I have found is the more you can deal with people issues, difficult people interactions, the more you are going to be a more competitive person in your field. And then lastly, just have a little fun, and we'll do some exercises and connect with people.